Hello, families of ninth grade Southwest students. Welcome to Southwest Curriculum Night 2020. My name is Dan Edmonds. I am your ninth grade student's human geography teacher for Team Nokomis. In an effort to keep this video as short as possible, I will not be going through all the information on all my slides. You can pause the video to read yourself, or there will also be just a link to the slideshow that you are about to see without my audio, just so you can look at it at your own convenience. So who am I? I graduated from Winona State University. That's where I got my teaching license. This is my 8th year of teaching and my 6th year teaching at Southwest. And just kind of personally, I'm a huge nerd of all things nerdy, and I believe my fiance would agree with me on that. So if you ever talk to her, she would probably say the same thing. So human geography looks at how human activity affects or has influenced the Earth and how the Earth affects us as humans. So we look at the processes that kind of shift the way that humanity has developed and how humanity has actually shaped the Earth as well. So below you can kind of see some of our units of study, actually all of our units of study. I won't go through them all. The first one, geography basics, we will start off with looking at how to read maps, how to use maps, just sort of those general geographic skills. My expectations for class is that I expect students to attend class every day they're able. Obviously, unexcused absences are completely different. But if a student does miss class, I expect them to contact me to make sure that they do not fall behind. And there'll be a contact list up on the last slide of this presentation in just a moment. I expect students to use good online etiquette. So that means what do you say and what don't you say online? And I'll actually be doing a lesson for all Team Nokomis students the first week of school on that. I do expect students to try to limit their distractions during class time. So like cell phones are always a big issue. And now that we're at home, I think there'll be even more distractions. So I think that trying to limit those and encouraging your student to try to make sure that they are limiting those distractions is going to be really key. I also expect students to advocate for their own learning and experience. So is there something that they need help with, some clarification? Is there something that we're doing in class that they don't understand? Or is there something that they would like us to do in class that we aren't doing? And again, that can be done by contacting me or even bringing it up in class. Attendance, I wanted to make sure that all families understand what attendance will look like this year. It must be recorded and taken each day for elementary students and each period for secondary students, which is your ninth grade student. Attendance is based on a teacher's direct interaction with a student. So things like a video class or video chat would count as attendance. A phone call with a student or a text message with the student as well. Posting completed coursework to the learning platform, which for us will be Google Classroom, and turning it in on a given day with a record of teacher contact, again, that phone call or text message exchange. Could also be an email as well. Students for whom no teacher has direct interaction on a given day are reported as absent for that day. So even if your student turns in an assignment on time during the class period, but I don't interact with them, they have to be marked absent for that period based on Minneapolis Public Schools guidelines to us teachers. So it's not a Team Nokomis policy. It's not a Southwest policy. It is a district policy that we all need to adhere to. So what does a normal class look like for my class? So we'll do a warm-up. about 10 minutes, if not a little bit less, and all times are approximate. Direct instruction from me will be 20 minutes max. It's about as long as anyone can sit in front of a screen or listen to someone talking. And I think for a lot of us who've been doing kind of distance work, remote work, I think we understand that. Work time on a given assignment can range from 35 to 50 minutes. Could be even more if it's work like a project or a group or a small group discussion. And we'll always come back together and do a closing and an exit ticket. And then the rest of class time, if we have half an hour of extra time, 45 minutes, 10 minutes of additional time where we're not learning or interacting with one another, can be additional support where students come to me or text me, call me to make sure that they're getting the support that they need in class. And that can also be a time for you to interact with me as well as a family member. So grading, we operate on the MYP IB grading system, as Southwest is an IB school. So this is the grade scale here. I'm not going to go through it again for the sake of time, but I always encourage students to strive for that 8. So all of our assignments will be out of 8 points. And so you can see kind of the indicator there. Consistent, thorough understanding of the required knowledge and skills consistently demonstrates originality and insight and always produces a high quality of work. So for that, how do you translate that into an actual grade? The majority of, if a student gets the majority of 8s, no scores under 7, that will be considered to be like an A. And that's what they'll get in the class. And then all the way kind of down the line here, you can read that. Sorry, it's kind of squished. The new thing I'm doing this year is that students will be getting, instead of a D or an F, which you do see here, that will change this year, they will be getting a credit or a no credit. And that is just to alleviate some of the stress, some of the kind of negativity during distance learning, as it is such a different time for all of us. And if we do go back to school in person this year, this will remain the grade scale, okay? The credit, no credit system. So how students will be assessed in geography, IB, social studies, is called individuals and societies. There are 4 criterion listed here. And all are worth 20% of the overall grade. There is a 5th category called approaches to learning. That would be more housekeeping stuff. If we do like a classroom procedures quiz, whatever it might be, that would be an approaches to learning type of assignment. So we have knowing and understanding. That would be things like quizzes, exams, and tests. Investigating would be things like research assignments, communicating if they're doing a group project or if they're doing a presentation to the class, and thinking critically would be assignments like debating or writing an argumentative paper or whatever it might be like that. So what about all of the national global events of 2020? And there's been a lot, and I know it's been a hard year for a lot of us, for probably all of us. So coincidentally, the events of the last 6 months fit really well into human geography. However, many of those events have been traumatic, painful, confusing, sensitive, and really, you can sum that up as emotional for all of us. So one thing that I am very aware of and trying not to do is to re-traumatize students or families and bringing up some of these emotions that people have been working hard to work through this summer. We will be talking about a lot of the events that we have been experiencing, but we will also be trying to look at what can we do next? What's the next step as social scientists, right? And that's what we're, that's what in geography class, that's what we are, social scientists. How can we celebrate humanity for the good that we've done and the good that we're doing right now? And I'm very aware as a white male teacher my role is in creating some of these problems that we have been experiencing. So, looking at my role and what is my role as a teacher to your student is going to be really at the center of my curriculum this year and what I do with your student. Because there's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that your students feel safe, heard, and respected this year in AP Human Geography. So, how can you help your student? All that other stuff aside, what can you do? My hope this year is that so you, your student, and myself can work as a team. And that's helping all of us supporting each other and really to make sure that your student is the most successful that they can be. My hope is that we can all go into this school year knowing that things are not going to be perfect right away. So allowing room for growth and improvement for everyone involved is going to be really key. Just in this own video, I've made a lot of mistakes, right? So just kind of giving ourselves grace and giving each other grace and some flexibility is really going to be important. And the other thing too, big for you as a family member, help your student to make a routine and a schedule. It's been a long summer, and a lot of us, including me, are just getting back into a routine. So helping your student, waking them up, at a consistent time, or helping them to get up at a consistent time, making time to be doing schoolwork, having a lunch time and that sort of thing, and following this new block schedule that we're doing. How can you or your student contact me? So, email is the best way to reach out to me. There it is right there in green. I also have a Google Voice number that you can call or text. Please do so during direct instruction or when I'm not doing direct instruction. So that'll be really at the kind of beginning of every class or when you know that your student is having work time. Please leave a voicemail too. If you need to call during class, please leave a voicemail and I'll try to get back to you. Include your name in the text or voicemail and who is your student. Okay, I won't know all of your students well right away, but I will definitely do my best to. And I will stop answering voice calls at 3:30 p.m. and then you can turn to email for support. Priority number one is that students are now in high school and they need to practice how to advocate for themselves. So I really would like to hear from students first about their learning. You as a family member are obviously very important to your child's education, but the number one thing is that they need to now start taking responsibility for themselves. And that's kind of what I'll say for you parents and family members this evening or whenever you're watching this. And please do not hesitate to email me or call me with questions, concerns, thoughts, suggestions, whatever it might be is always appreciated. I look forward to meeting you and your student and to getting this year started and getting it started off right. I hope that you all have a really good start to the school year and a really good fall. And again, I hope to be seeing all of you very soon. Thank you very much.